Welcome to the B2B Lead Generation Q&A. Do I really need a lead gen funnel? Can't I just do sales? I'm very glad when I hear this question. Why am I happy? If your sales stuff is already working, then you've done the necessary stuff. You have a product that is selling. That is the hardest part to actually get off the ground. And you're actually able, once you have a lead, to convert that lead. Sales, especially in B2B, is by far the most important part of this whole user journey equation until they become a customer. You can absolutely get by with just making sales. But why would you? Do you want to keep on knocking on doors, or would you like people to knock on your door and ask you, hey, can you help me? Here's some money. I really prefer the latter way, and I like to have a mix. Inbound leads, that is like the dream of all the salespeople. Just having people line up and telling you, how can you help me? I'm interested. I've seen your stuff. I'm trusting you enough to get in touch with you. Can you really help me at a price that I can afford? And a price that I can afford usually means, can I trust you enough to provide more value than I'm paying for? This all builds on your ability to later convert them in a sales call, for example. And so you can absolutely get by, but your world as a salesperson and as a company becomes so much easier and so much more scalable once you start introducing a real lead generation funnel. The next question. What are the most important bottlenecks with lead generation in your experience? You have watched the meetup. If you haven't, go back to the past videos and check those out. We talked about very distinctive bottlenecks that I see. So usually it starts with, I do not have enough traffic. Not having enough traffic comes from two things. Either you are not spending any money on advertising, or you do not have a following on social media platforms, or you do not have an email list, you do not have access to an audience of another person. Looking at those options to generate traffic, this is where you need to go through. And of course, we talk a lot about paid traffic. Let's leave that. I saw another question that relates to that as well. Making sure that you have a solid traffic source that you can rely on is absolutely paramount. The next part, as we talked about in the meetup, is having a cool place for users to go beyond your profiles on social media. Having a landing page, having a website that people can interact with you, having a place where they can watch videos, get more resources, can make commitments, can make appointments, and overall your website and landing page experience. That is another bottleneck that I frequently see. This part just sucks. And then the last one is people having email lists but doing nothing with them. Seriously, like hundreds of people who have already said, yes, I want to get your newsletter, but for whatever reason, people are not sending regular updates. And those lists become cold, as we say. You need to keep engaged with those people, even if not 100% open your emails. It's already good if 30 to 50% open your email. This just is a reminder, and they should hear something from you. In B2B, at the minimum once per month. I would prefer once per week or every other week. So those three things are, in my opinion, the biggest bottleneck in lead generation in most projects that I'm involved with. All right, let's get to the next question. You only talk about paid traffic. What about organic channels? I talk a lot about paid traffic because I think it's the hardest and the most rewarding if you can get them to work. Why is that? Imagine I could build you a machine where you put in €1,000 and you get 2,000 back. That's paid traffic and conversion funnels. That's exactly what we are trying to build. But since it is so awesome, if you had a machine like that, everybody's trying to build it, and everybody is bidding for the same people on the same keywords, same audiences with similar content. And this equalizes things over time. But when I talked about, for example, paid traffic on LinkedIn, 6 meetups before that, I talked about best content marketing strategy on LinkedIn, because I believe content marketing on organic channels come first and paid traffic comes second. Why is that? Organic traffic and organic engagement is like the guitar. It is truth. It is, do you get engagement from users or are you not getting engagement? It is absolutely the honest thing. If people ignore you, they ignore you. But with paid traffic, you can enforce engagement, but at a price, of course. But it's much better if you have a well-tuned guitar and a song worth playing that you then attach to an amplifier, which is paid traffic, and then make 1 million people hear that song. That is the way I think about it. So go for organic channels first. We have several meetups in the past where we talked about this. And then you just add fuel to this flame. Cool. Okay, hope this answers that question. The next one is, were you as disappointed as I by last night's Apple event? Guys, did you see this shit? Yeah, so I think that says it all. Next question. Eprivacy and TikTok. What do you think about this? My opinion, not my legal advice on this. Users that sign up for TikTok consent to their terms of service. And this is what TikTok is responsible for. If you do TikTok ads and people have opted into those terms of service, you are responsible of what happens after the click, not what happens before the click. Of course, if we're talking about generating leads with lead gen ads like on Facebook, where the form is on the platform, this would be an e-privacy discussion. But until you have person identifiable information, PPI, until you have that, you do not have to worry about e-privacy. Yeah, it's just normal user behavior that you can take a look at. Only when this personal information is involved, and that usually only happens on your website with the cookies that you are using, with the forms that you are submitting, with the sign-up process that you have over there. So I think doing TikTok and doing ads is fine in my opinion. But there are legal counsels and data privacy guys that are absolute 100% seriously saying that you're supposed to delete your Facebook page. And I'm just not that kind of guy. You can be too careful about this, and I would definitely say, in my opinion, I would do this. I'm taking the entrepreneurial risk on that. Okay, last question. Thank you for everybody who's provided some questions so far. How do you approach a traditional B2B company, like SME company, let's say like 50 to 500 employees, which is in the market since years and producing a physical product for another manufacturer? Okay, very good point. What you want to do is you want to become the thought leader and expert for your type of product and where you build your product. Manufacturers are buying from you because they think you have excellent quality, you're reliable, you have good prices, and you stand for something. You stand for something in your industry. And this is what you should communicate in all of your marketing. Take 1 or 2 people in your company, for example, the CEO and somebody that is very, very much looking outward, and build them up as influencers on platforms like LinkedIn. And even if you think that the manufacturers, they are not on LinkedIn, they are. Yeah, there are so many people worldwide there, and there are so many hidden champions in Germany that are producing some little nips and knobs and little technologies that are being exported worldwide. But they are for a reason called hidden champions. And communicating that, making your process that is probably world class more visible, like Porsche does it, for example. I love how they communicate the engineering aspects. Take a look from that book and build 1 or 2 people up in the company and take this hiddenness out of that and become the public champion that you deserve to be. So that is my opinion on that approach. I would go back to the LinkedIn Content Magic meetup and start there, and then go to the LinkedIn advertising meetup and then watch this one here. That was optimizing B2B lead generation. I really appreciated your participation, and I hope to see you next time in 2 weeks. Bye bye.